Today we are going to see the detailed analysis of each individual planet of the solar system. That is, we are going to study each individual planet. There are eight individual planets. So we are going to study each individual planets like Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. So we are going to see how these planets and what are the specialities of these planets. So what is the specific feature? So how this planet rotates over the orbit of this planet solar system, and how sun and these planet is having what type of distance it has. So all these features we will be viewing, and what is the difference between each individual planet, everything will be viewing in this video. So let us move to the first topic, that is Mercury. So what is the speciality of Mercury? Mercury is the smallest planet. So if you see, Mercury is the smallest planet and it is very close to the sun, so that you can see the image. And it is also fast moving. Its temperature is around 400 degrees Celsius during the day, but drops to about 170 degrees Celsius at night. That is, so its temperature keeps varying. So during the day, its temperature is around 400 degrees Celsius, but it drops to around 170 degrees Celsius during night because it has no atmosphere to trap the heat. That is the main reason why the temperature has a small variation during the day and night. So this is the image you can see of Mercury on the right side. So this is the image of Mercury, and this is called the surface of Mercury. So that is regarding the Mercury. So you can see the Mercury that is near to the sun. So it's a very small planet. Next planet what we are going to study is Venus. Venus is the hottest planet with a temperature of 475 degrees Celsius during the night. This is because the atmosphere is 96% carbon dioxide. So Venus is the planet, it is the hottest planet with a temperature of 475 degrees Celsius during night. But this is the major reason why 475 degrees Celsius during the night is because of the atmosphere presence of carbon dioxide. That is 96% of carbon dioxide existed in the atmosphere, a gas that traps heat similar to the greenhouse. It is the brightest planet in the night sky and easy to spot from the Earth. Venus rotates in the east-west direction. So you can see the image of Venus on the right side, and next we are going to see the Earth. So we have still seen the Mercury, then Venus. So Mercury is near to the Sun, and Venus is the hottest planet, and Mercury is the smallest planet, and Venus is the hottest planet. And next is the Earth. The Earth is considered to be the third planet near to the Sun. So what are the features of the Earth? Our Earth. Look at the photograph of space. I mean, this is the picture that is taken from that we can see the Earth from space. So it is a colorful planet's shades of. That is, if you see the Earth, we will be able to find three different colors. The first color we can view is blue. Then second color we can view is white, and third is green. The reason why we are able to view these three colors is because of some of the future. From blue, the reason why the blue color is being pointed out, or we are able to see blue, means the blue denotes two aspects. One is the blue denotes the oceans and seas that is existed in our Earth. Uh, Look, and the Earth's look more about blue when we see from space, and whereas white color represent all the clouds. You can see blue color in this right side, right side for pictures over here, and so you'll be able to see blue all over in this in our earth, and you'll be able to see white colors. I mean overall your presence of white color you'll be able to see. So white represents a lot many clouds. It represents clouds, and you can see green color too. Green shows the vegetation or kind of plants grown in this in our earth. So 30% of our planet are covered by land. It is, you'll be able to see some of the lands and vegetation. So 30% of our earth is covered by land and 70% by water. 70% water means we know that blue represents ocean and sea, so that's the reason why we pointed out 70 percentage by water. Our planet has soil which allows plants to grow. The best specialty of our planet is that our planet is consisted of soil, and the soil is soil is useful for vegetation of plants. So we are able to do different type of agricultural crops, and using we have different varieties of soil, a number of soils of different category of soils of different land. There are various type of soils, and each soil has various uses, and each soil's crops their own crops in which each soil is able to fertile it up. And next is the earth is surrounded by an atmosphere of three. One is nitrogen, oxygen, and water vapor. So that earth atmosphere, that is that since earth is surrounded by atmospheres of nitrogen, oxygen, water vapor, we'll be able to see in this earth. It also has a layer of ozone which absorbs some of the damaging radiation of the sun. We know that beyond the earth is having some kind of ozone layer. It's a kind of a layers. Layers in which it protects the kind of an earth. So we have already studied ozone layer and different type of layers. In the same way, we know that our earth is the third planet from the sun. So what happened is that since we have the layers over the sun of the earth, so whenever there is a kind of a radiations from the sun or radiations from the earth, that is from the earth also some of the radiations occur. So since there is a layer over to those our earth, it protects and absorbs the damaging of the radiations that comes from to the earth. So there is a kind of a layer for our earth. And next is the temperature on the earth varies a lot, and it lies between 85 degrees celsius to 65 degrees celsius, and we have more or less constant temperature every time. So earth temperature keeps on varying, and since we have a constant temperature and constant temperature between both the day and night, we have a constant temperature between both day and night. And our planet is about huge kilometers away from the sun. Therefore it is neither too hot and too cold, and we can support life. You can see the how much kilometer our planet lies. So this much kilometer is the distance between the sun to the our planet, that is our sun to the our earth. So so we can you can read the kilometer over here. And the next two features you can see over near to under to the map, you will be able to see that is earth takes about 365 and quarter days to complete one revolution around the sun. Earth takes 365 and quarter means 6 hours. You know that our we have a leap year in which we have within 4 years, every 4 years we have a leap year. So quarterly is divided as, quarter means it consists of 6 hours. So a leap year means 4 years. So 6 hours into four. That is 6 into 4 means 24 hours. One day consists of 24 hours. So S takes about 365 and 6 hours to complete one revolution around the sun, and we calculated as 6 hours. But these 6 hours, when you calculate it 4 years, so it becomes 124 hours. So that is how we calculated the rotation of the main rotation of our earth around the sun. That is one revolution around the sun. So it completes one rotation in 24 hours, resulting in day and night. Since the earth is rotating rotating the orbit of the sun, so it takes about 24 hours, so it results the day and night. So that is the main features of the third planet, our earth. So that is lies between that is lies in the our solar system. Next planet what we are going to study is the Mars. The Mars is often referred to as red planet. You can see the image of the Mars on the left side. Because of its reddish soil, this planet has many features in common with our Earth, such as an atmosphere with clouds and polar caps that melt partly from some, partly in summer. So these are the few. I mean, this is about the Mars. So that is, we have seen the fourth planet of I mean of the solar system. Now we are moving to the fifth planet, that is Jupiter. So what do you mean by Jupiter is that Jupiter is the largest of all planets and sometimes shines brighter than any other planet apart from Venus because of his gigantic size. It is a gas giant made up of hydrogen and helium and is covered by a layer of clouds. Its fast rotating movement causes severe storms. So you can see the Jupiter is considered to be the largest planet, and sometimes I mean we have sometimes we have read that sometimes it shines brighter than any other planet apart from Venus. I'll tell you why it is. I mean, why it is separating. I mean, apart from Venus, I'll be giving explanation in the Venus top. I mean, heading. Because of its gigantic size, it is because of gigantic size only this planet is getting brighter. It is, and it is this Jupiter is having consisting of gas giant, which is made up of hydrogen and helium, and it's covered with the layers of cloud. And it is the fastest rotating movement. It causes, I mean, when it fast I mean the Jupiter is a fast rotating movement, and it causes severe storms in some times. So that is regarding the Jupiter. So next we are moving to the sixth planet, that is Saturn. So what do you mean by Saturn? Saturn is the second color representing largest planet in our solar system, and it is known as rings. Space studies shows that Saturn has about thousands of thin rings made up of ice particles varying in size from the small as big as an iceberg. So Saturn is considered to be the second color representing the largest planet, and is considered to be it's in the solar system, and it is known as rings. And in space studies shows there are about thousands of thin rings in the Saturns, and each Saturns of is made up of ice particles varying in size. I mean, from very small as to big of an iceberg. So that is regarding Saturn. You can see the image of Saturn on the right. Next, we are moving to the seventh topic, that is Uranus. What do you mean by Uranus? Uranus means Uranus is the third largest planet, four times the size of the planet. It is similar to the Jupiter and Saturn in composition. So we have seen the first. There are two type of planets. I mean, we have already studied Jupiter and Saturn. So Jupiter is considered the first largest planet, and Saturn is considered the second, and Uranus is considered to be the third largest planet, four times the size of the Earth, and it is similar to the Jupiter and Saturn in composition, but but colder because of its distance from the sun. Uranus also has thin layers, as Uranus has thin layers, but they cannot be seen from the Earth as they are black in color. So this is regarding Uranus. So Uranus image you are able to see. This Uranus is very colder because of its distance from the sun. So since it has more, I mean, some distance from the sun, so it has more colders. And Uranus also has a thin layer, thin rings, but they cannot be seen from the Earth. From Earth, if you are looking, you will not be able to see these thin layers from Earth, and they also have black in color. Neptune is also called as blue giant and was discovered in 1846, and it has some kind of mathematical calculations were made by astronomers, and it's very far from the our Earth. You can see in the image that is Neptune is far from the Earth and far from Sun, and you are able to see that image of what I pointed out. Since it's hardly be seen even with a powerful telescope, if you use powerful telescope also, we are not able to find it out in detail. Space studies shows that it has about 11 moons and thin rings similar to those of Uranus. So, when space studies, whenever the astronomers of space studies, when they study it up, they are able to find out that there are 11 moons and thin rings similar to the Uranus, what we have studied in the previous slide. So that is regarding the solar system. So we have studied The sun is the main center, and around the sun there are about 8 planets. So Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune are the 8 planets. And so we have seen detailed analysis of these 8 planets and what are the speciality, so what are the similarity, and how distance each planet differs, and what are the which is the biggest planet and which is the smallest planet, and what are the different type of planets, and what are the planets I mean, what are the specific features that a planet differ from other planets, or all the I mean, all the specialities we have seen about the solar system and regarding the solar planet. And now we are going to study the next topic, that is the moon. Our moon is a natural satellite of the Earth. The reason why moon is a natural satellite of the Earth is because of few reasons. Satellites are small celestial bodies uh, which which revolve around the largest bodies, generally the planets. As planets move around the sun, their satellites accompany them in their revolution. So this is, I mean, this you might have observed, because satellites can be of celestial bodies and which revolve around the large bodies, generally of planets. And each planet, as planets, they move around the sun, the satellites accompany them in their revolutions. Let's say that satellites may be natural or man-made. So satellites, I mean, we are creating some kind of satellites, and we are used to send satellites from our Earth to different planets and satellites. So we can say that satellites may be natural. Some of the satellites is very natural. Some of the satellites we are human made. So human made satellites are sent to space to collect information for scientists, and we are able to get numerous information about the space and different planets through by sending different type of satellites to the space. And even now also we are sending different type of satellites, and we are able to get huge information about the space through the modern technology of digital computer and everything. Thus, we are able to understand the moon is about, I mean, 4 kilometers away from the Earth, and it completes one revolution around the Earth in about 27 days. So, I mean, the moon, it completes one revolution around the Earth. It takes about 27 days. So it takes almost the same time to complete a rotation on its axis. Moon has no lights of its own. It reflects the light of the sun. As I said, moon has no lights of its own. The moon does not have its own specific light. It reflects the light of the sun. Since the moon is much closer to us than the sun, it looks almost as big as the sun. We can see the moon in different shapes on different days of the month. These are called as the phases of the month. So if you observe, during nights or every day nights, you will not be able to see same type of full moon. Some days you will be able to see half moon. Some days you will be able to see, no, not the full moon, but different variations of the moons will be keep on varying based on different days and different times. So uh, a moon has no atmosphere and no water. Its surface is covered by hills, valleys, and craters. It's the only satellite that is close enough to have and allow human to visit and to have studies throughout a telescope. So that is regarding the moon. Next, we are going to see about dwarf planets. So, what do you mean by dwarf planets? Dwarf planets lie in trans Neptunian region. This region is beyond Neptune. These include some of the planets such as Pluto. Pluto is a planet which is already existed in the solar system. In solar system, there were 9 planets, but the Pluto is not existing in the solar system. So next is Sirius, and then Eris, Make, and Huma. So these are the planets. So Pluto was earlier considered to be the smallest planet, but it was classified as the drone planet in 2006. So next topic what we are going to study is asteroid belt. Asteroids are thousands of small rocky bodies that occupy space between Mars and Jupiter. Ceres, the drone planet, is the largest asteroids in the asteroid belt. So if you're observing the graph of the image, so you'll be able to see Mars inside the circle, is the Mars, and the outside circle is Jupiter. So asteroids it lies between the Mars and Jupiter, and you'll be able to see this belt around the solar. I mean, between the Mars and Jupiter. So that is regarding the asteroid belts. The next topic what we are going to study is meteoroids and meteoroids. Meteoroids are small species of rocks or metal believed to form when asteroids break up. So when this asteroid breaks up into small rock or metal, most of the meteors burn up before they will reach the Earth. So when they reach the Earth itself, if they get break up, I mean if they get burned up or break up, so it will not affect any kind of problems in the Earth. Whereas the shooting stars that we often see is not the stars but meteors that they are streaking across the sky. So when these objects fall on the Earth's surface, when when these fall on the Earth's surface, so it will be falling on a heavy force, and it will be a large meteors which cause huge craters when they land on this Earth, and it can cause heavy damage to the Earth, and not only yet some other planets also it can be I mean it can cause, because it is not falling on the same kind of Earth. I mean, we have studied there are I mean 8 planets, so different planets are there, so it can flown on any of the planets, so it can cause any of the damage to some of the planets. So next topic we are going to view is what are comets. Comets means you will be heard, or you can mean sometimes you might be seen about, or you will be heard about comet. Comet is a kind of a shining tail flashing through the night sky. So comets is a kind of small icy bodies through I mean you can see around the sun. So they glow with the light of the sun as they come closer to it. So have you heard about the Halley's comet? Halley's Comet means it is once in every 76 years. It was last seen in 1986. Recently, in 1996, a Japanese astronomer discovered Haukata comet, named after him, considering to be the brightest comet that I've seen in seen in 20 years. So that is regarding the comet, and by this we have come end of this chapter, exploring solar system, chapter 1 of geography. I hope you have understand the lesson chapter 1 of geography. Thank you, students.